All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's get this. Let's get this therapy session over. Let's get the abuse over. The hockey team is abusing us. That's the abuse that's going on right now. Our hockey team is abusive. How's everybody doing? Happy Thanksgiving. It's cold and windy. It's not raining, no. So that's a bonus. That's a bonus. There's this weird orangish, reddish object in the sky. I haven't seen it in a long time. I forgot what it is. So how are we doing? Oh boy. This should be how am I going to fend off? How am I going to tell everybody we don't need to make any trades today after that debacle? And I forgot my water. That's good. Good job, Jaws. You're batting 1,000. All right, what do we got? Miami sports. We need to do something. This team's up and yeah. Yes. Buck Skull, how you doing, bud? Yeah, still champs until otherwise. Yeah, standings are depressing as hell. Hey, Goat Slayer, happy Turkey Day. Right back at you. Going to try and stay tuned today to keep my sanity while helping prep for today's festive headaches. Yes, Kyle's going to his mom's. So let her do all that work. I'm overworked as it is. She's doing all the work. Donna and I are going to sit around and eat pizza and watch football and things. Yeah. I did the whole Thanksgiving thing last year. Just Kyle and I. It was fun. It was a good, peaceful day. But I don't have any interest in. I've got a big turkey breast I'm going to make tomorrow. What else? And I just got some pre-made stuff, the mashed potatoes and mac and cheese and a couple other things. I didn't want to go through all that work. Not this year. Maybe again next year. Hey, Paul, how you doing, buddy? Happy Thanksgiving. So, yeah. So, let's yeah, you agree, let her do all the work. Yes. NHL scores. Oh, God. So yesterday, honestly, people, it could not have gone any worse for us. It really couldn't have gone any worse. I guess it could have. The Penguins beat the Sabres, so I guess there's that. The Rangers beat the Hurricanes. Don't wait till you hear about the Rangers. The Capitals beat the Jets. Didn't really need that. The Bruins beat the Islanders 3-1. The Maple Leafs beat the Jackets 2-1 in overtime, so everybody gets points. We won't discuss what happened in Florida. The Lightning did what they should do and beat the Flames 5-1. The Preds beat the Wings 6-3. That one actually went our way. The Devils beat the Blues 3-2. The Wild beat the Blackhawks in overtime 4-3. The Avalanche shut out the Sharks 6-0, like anybody's beating Colorado anyway right now. Montreal got back on the winning side of things, beating the Mammoth 4-3. The Senators are out there beating the Vegas Knights in the shootout 4-3. The Canucks beat the Ducks 5-4, so I guess all the trades are off. And the Stars beat the Kraken. Now, when you press the standings button, so there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is if we were in the Metro, we'd be in last place behind the Rangers and Jackets. Just to be clear. We have a game in hand. We have 2 games in hand against the Rangers. Whoopsie doody. So you've got the Lightning that won 5 straight. They're in first place. Whatever. The Senators have 28 points. They're in second place without Brady Tkachuk. That's nice. The Bruins won't go away. They got 28 points. That's nice. The Canadians have won a couple of games, 27 points. The Wings, as soon as they got a taste of first place, have lost a couple of games, 27. Then there's that maddening, abusive team from Florida with 25. And the only thing keeping us out of the basement are the Leafs at 23 and the Sabres at 22. The Metro, you got the Devils, Hurricanes, who are going to go back and forth all year. The Caps are in third place with 28. The Islanders, 28. The Penguins, 27. The Flyers are 27. The Flyers are 2 points better than us. And they have a game in hand. Just in case anybody was wondering, oh, we should have beat Philadelphia. I mean, we are what we are at this point. And then the Jackets at 26 points, even though they've lost 3 straight. And then the Rangers have won a couple of games. They have 26 points. So that's like 10th in the conference. Now, of course, had we won yesterday, we would still not quite be in a playoff spot, but we'd only be 1 point out. So let's see. Yeah, Pizza Sweats. No, not Pizza Sweats and Cowboys. I mean, we're streaming the Cowboys, but we're not. No, it's sweat. I refuse for it to be Pizza Sweats and Cowboys. Pizza Sweats and football. Okay? Don't infect my day with Dallas. They pissed me off last week. JC, we're driving last night to the airport to pick up my mother-in-law. As the mother-in-law got in the car, my wife let out an audible Yeah, about that, right? Mother-in-law said, my tongue is rubbing off on Jackie, but I blame you because she was watching you and fed off of your energy. I was driving and loading bags. Oh, yeah, I was unhappy. I don't think I spoke. Pretty sure I was lifting for the 3rd goal when they scored the 4th goal, I believe. And I quit. I did what the Panthers did. I quit. I'm lifting for that last goal they gave up. Damn it. Paul says, win one, lose one. Tarasov needs to put some pressure on Mr. Swiss cheese. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Tarasov an extra game here or there. There's not that it's all Bobrovsky's fault, but Tarasov's numbers, it's not close. Like, it's just not close. And look, I mean, why they go in, it doesn't matter. Tarasov is at 245 and a 913. Okay? 245 and 913. Bobrovsky with the same defense as at 288 and 882. Now, you call it bad luck, you call it what you want. I don't care. If Tarasov is playing that much better, it wouldn't kill us to play him an extra game or two here. We're running out of games to get points. JC says, long story short, I owe you and your mother-in-law an apology. Good luck with that. Miami Sports, do we need to do something? I mean, there's no players, there's no trades or players that are coming to save us. We're not losing these games because the personnel sucks. We're losing these games because we're mentally checking out. We had a 2-0 lead, and you could physically watch us say, okay, that's good, we're done. Like, I think they're so accustomed to being the better team on any given night that, we blew a 2-goal lead, whatever, we'll get it back. I think the work ethic is not there. Now, there's no Barkov, there's no Kachuk. And if there's 2 guys that you're going to follow for your work ethic, it's those 2 guys. Very different reasons, very different methods, but the same, it's still true. We're missing their leadership on the ice tremendously. And we saw that early in the season. I was complaining about that when we started losing all those road games and looking horrible on the road. It's like, what are we watching? Great White says, Miss Oz, I was watching it at 9 a.m. Oh, the parade, yeah. Great White says, Jaws, if I can move back to Florida, what city would I move back to? If money was not a concern, if it wasn't concerned about Satellite Beach, Melbourne Beach, I don't want to live all the way down south. I don't want to live all the way down there. My parents live in Melbourne. Brother Gene's in Melbourne. If I was so inclined, if I had the money to do it, I would, but I'd have to live on the, not like on the beach, but beachside. I'm too used to having open spaces here now to live like in Sunrise or something like that. I don't think, and I know Kyle wouldn't do well, but if I could live like oceanside somewhere, in the Satellite Beach area, something like that. Yeah. Actually says in the last 10 minutes of the game, I was constantly anxious. Something like that was going to happen. Of course, it had to happen in the last minute. Yeah, just brutal. But you can see it. I knew it, and then I'm to your point, Atsu. When I knew it there was about 2.5, 3 minutes left. Whenever it was, Rodriguez has the puck along the boards in our zone, lost the puck battle, and Philly got it. And we just didn't respond. They were outworking us all period long. And as the game got closer to being over, we were the team that was just barely trying to hang on. And the Flyers were doing what we would normally do, which is bust ass in the last couple of minutes and score a goal. And you could just see it. It's just, and that's the part where I got to last night in the recap. That's the part where I feel like we missed. I know we missed Barkov and Kachuk in terms of what they bring production-wise. But the leadership void is the most evident thing right now. And I know that points-wise, and we'll look at this. In fact, let's look at it now. NHL standings on November 27th. So let's see, of last year. Let's get to 27 here. So last year at this point, let's see. Okay, go. Enter. Go. Okay. Last year at this point, the Panthers had 27 points, and we were in second place with the Leafs at 28. So we had played 23 games. We were 13-9-1. Now we have played 23 games, and we're 12-10-1. So we're literally still only one game worse than we were at this point last year. The problem is last year, like I said, it was Toronto 28, Florida 27, Boston 25, Tampa 24, Buffalo 23, the Wings 22, Ottawa 21, and the Canadiens at 19. So we were ahead of everybody. We were fifth in the conference with those 27 points. And now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams ahead of us. And those teams are, it's only within a couple of points. So I understand that in theory, we're only 2 points worse. But how we're losing these games and the fact that everybody else has just gotten so much better, it's a problem. We're going to have to get a second or third place. Honestly, I don't want to be dicking around trying to get a wild card spot because there's too many teams. And now we're 5 points out of first place. We're 3 points out of second and third place. This is getting to be too much. Leia weighs about 60 pounds. Great White. Leia is almost an exact duplicate size-wise as Ellie. Oh, wow. You know it's bad. You know it's bad when Jason is saying this team stinks. Damn, when we lose Jason, When we lose Jason, it's over. Happy Thanksgiving, buddy. Dang. Yeah, she's like 60, 70 pounds. Yeah, she looks a lot. Yeah, because she beefcake. She beefcake. Nah, her size, I mean, like literally a Ellie duplicate. Her size, the musculature. Ellie had that big barrel chest until she lost weight towards the end. But yeah, she's probably, I would say 62, 65 pounds, something like that. But yeah, she's spoiled. You should have seen her last night. I went outside with her last night after the recap, and it was super windy, and there's leaves going all over the place, and it's pitch black. And she was, I swear, if there had been another dog in the yard with her playing, her behavior would have made sense. She must have been playing with one of the dogs. One of the dogs must have come out of the grave because she was just running circles all over the place. She was doing zoomies and like stopping, like acting like she was playing with somebody, but they weren't visible. Let's just put it that way. For about 10 minutes, she was just like a maniac. She was playing with somebody, but it was crazy to see. Mike says, I feel like we need to make a trade to fix our identity. Nah, no. The identity is on the bench. The hell was that? Oh, it's Kyle. Our identity is on IR. I mean, Barkov, Kachuk, don't discount being without Luosterainen. Remember, we already learned this lesson when we played Vegas, what happened without Luosterainen. He is an important piece. He may not produce a ton of points, but his consistency is huge. I mean, Barkov, Kachuk, Luosterainen, Kulikov. You know, the fourth line is, I mean, Greer's on the third line, fourth line, Nosek, Gadjevich, and Greer are, right? Gone, and Greer's had to move up. I mean, what do we got out there? Cut in with Gregor. And you got Boquist filling in. I realized last night because I was bitching and complaining. Why is Boquist doing this? Why is Boquist doing that? Because Maurice put him in Luosterainen's spot in a lot of those on certain circumstances. We don't need to trade anybody. We just need our team back. Like it's just wild the number of we got a whole ass team out. Hey Derek, happy Thanksgiving, bud. Yeah, and happy Thanksgiving to Roy too. Boy, I don't know what I did. I think I slept wrong. I feel like I might have a tooth infection coming up in here. I got pain in this jaw today for whatever reason. This tooth back here, my wisdom tooth. Oh, there's Kyle running around. So yeah. So the point is that we're only 2 points out. Let's look at what happened last year. So I'm looking to see last year. I'm looking at last year's standings at this point. And I want to find somebody. What are we? 3 points out? We're 2 points out of a spot. 3. 28. Well, let's just say 3. For argument's sake, let's just say we're 3 points out of a spot. I'm going to look at last year's standings and see if there's anybody that was 3 points out on Thanksgiving. What the hell do you want? Hey, thank you. Huh? He's alive. He's out of bed before noon. Holy shit. Thank you, Great White. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Great White. Holy crap.
Is that how much?
He gave me $100.
Hey, that's awesome.
Holy crap. Thank you, brother. Don't give Leia too much turkey. Yeah. So about that, before I get back to my other story. So you go to Redner's and they always have a special where you get a free turkey if you spend $400 in the month of November before Thanksgiving. And so I went in yesterday because Lord knows I spend like almost $400 a week. It's at least 3. And sure enough, they're out of turkeys. So they gave me a turkey breast. It's about an 8 or a 9 pound turkey breast. So that's okay. I still bought the stuffing though. Well, we can't stuff the. So I don't have the legs and the bones, and I can't have no turkey soup or anything like that. But it was free, so we'll take it. They were out of turkeys completely. Like they didn't even have turkeys to sell. So last year, not only did I get the one free turkey, but I got another one that's still in the freezer. But it's probably freezer one at this point. I'm just gonna make it for me and the dog, because I don't care. But last year I ended up with 2 free turkeys because I went the day before Thanksgiving. I told you guys that story. Little old lady was checking out, and they offered her free turkey, and she's like, I don't need a free turkey. But then she looked at me. She's like, you want it? I'm like, yeah, okay. And I mean little. I mean, like, I don't think she came up to my chin. So I ended up with a second turkey. She was really sweet. But this year, they must not have ordered the right amount of turkeys or whatever. I don't know, because last year they were giving them away the day before Thanksgiving. And this year, I talked to the manager. She's like, yeah, I've been out for like 3 or 4 days to sell turkeys, not just the free ones. It's crazy. Thank you again, Great White. Thank you, brother. So back to what I'm trying to do. I'm going to look at the standings from last year on this date. I want to see if I can find a team that was 3 points out of the playoffs that made them. Oh, well, there it is right off the bat. Ottawa last year on this date had 21 points, and they were 3 points out of a playoff spot, and they made the playoffs. Montreal on this date last year had 19 points. They were 5 points out. Holy moly, will you look at that? Over in the West, the Oilers were 1 point out. No big deal. The Blues were 2 points out. No big deal. But over in the East, so Montreal and Ottawa last year. I mean, Montreal at this point last year was 8-11-3. They had a negative 21 goal differential at this point last year, and they came back and made the playoffs. Now, of course, those are 2 very young, hungry teams, right? I won't have any turkey left. I got, yeah. I know Miss Jaws eat all the stuffing. Miss Jaws only eats meat so she can have the bread with it. Hey, Bex, happy Turkey Day. Yeah, Leia's always on her lap. Unless I'm going, she'll be laying on Donna's lap. But as soon as I get up to go do something, she'll fly off of her thinking it's time to go outside. Craig says our store was nearly out of them last week, so yep, I guess no extras were ordered. Yeah, I wonder if the stores, the economy not being great, maybe the stores, watching their bottom line a little bit, not ordering too many. Yeah, Leia gets chicken in her food every day. Wait till I start buying her the good food like I bought for the other dogs. Don't buy her any more of that garbage food. It's not garbage food, but it kind of is. The regular commercial dog foods are not good for them. But the good stuff, we can buy the good stuff for her for like $50, but she doesn't eat that much. So it probably lasts 3 months. Craig, still no panic? I don't know if panic is the word. Frustration. That's been my word since yesterday. It's just incredibly frustrating that they can look at the standings, they see where they are, they got a 2-0 lead at home, and why is there nobody going, hey, when they make it 2-1, okay, Flyers make it 2-1, deflection, okay. Where's the leadership going, hey, we ain't doing this today. I want to enjoy my Thanksgiving. We got a lead. We should be beating this team. We need points. Like, where the hell is the leadership in that moment? It's not there. It's not there. And I don't know if Marchand isn't taking the reins a little bit because it's not generally his team. But we miss Barkov and Kachuk's leadership. There's no doubt about that at this point. Hey, Bex. Yeah, we're gonna be Don and I are gonna be streaming the Chiefs Cowboys game. Hey, Bill, how am I doing? I'm all right. I'm irritable. I don't like losing. I really don't like losing. And there's a lot of new people to this channel. And by I say new people, I mean there's a lot of people that found the channel when we got good. So you haven't experienced me being full on irritable and pissed off when this team loses too much. It's not pleasant. I let it affect my mood like I used to do with the Dolphins. The Dolphins beat that out of me. I don't care. Lose all you want. I'm happy to, you know what I mean? But the Panthers, I'll wake up. God damn it, we lost that game. Like, it affects me. There's no doubt, you know? So, yeah, to answer your question, how am I doing? I'm noticeably irritable. I'm aware of it, and I know why I'm irritable, but that pissed me off. 2 goals in the last minute to lose an overtime point? Come on, guys. Damn it. Craig, yeah, slight disappointment. Yeah. Yeah, Beck says, I'm surprised I didn't give someone else an A during the season. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't know who you would give it to. Maybe Reinhardt, but he's not like, and I know Barkov's not like a vocal leader. We really miss Kachuk. I think on the bench, we really miss Kachuk. I think we miss Barkov on the ice for sure. But I think on the bench, we really miss Chucky. It's to me that's got to be part of what's going on, especially on the road. Bill, yeah, the third period was dog shit. It was bad. IDK says bad coaching, bad goaltending, bad offense, bad defense. We've got it all. Ugh. Like I said, I'm going to look it up again so that in case anybody missed it. Last year, okay, this is Bobrovsky now. Last year, where are we? Okay, yeah. Last year on November 14th, Bob allowed 5 goals to the Devils with an .821 save percentage. He then shut out Winnipeg. Then on November 19th, he allowed 4 goals with an .840 save percentage against Winnipeg. And then the next game, November 23rd, 6 goals to Colorado and a .750 save percentage. Then after Thanksgiving, the 4 games after Thanksgiving, he allowed 1, 3, 1, and 1 goals. Now, he did have a couple of stinkers after that, but for the most part, you know, you hit December 1, 1, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. He got a lot better, especially as the season wore on. So I understand, but I'm just looking at on an individual basis for Bobrovsky. I just don't understand why we don't just give Tarasov a few more games. Like, it doesn't have to be Bob's fault. It doesn't have to mean he's getting old. It doesn't mean we don't re-sign. It doesn't have to mean any of those things. But like I said last night in the recap, Maurice is not riding the hot hand anywhere at all. Like, Greer is out there kicking ass. So why don't you give all this extra responsibility that you've given to Boquist to Greer? You see what I'm saying? On a night like last night, you know, Tarasov is playing miles better than Bobrovsky. You can just tell he's more mentally engaged. He looks fresher. He's playing well for whatever reason. Give him some extra games. And so that's really my biggest issue right now with Maurice is that I just don't feel like I feel like he's being a little bit tunnel vision in certain areas instead of as the game goes on, hey, this guy is doing really well. Let's move him up in the lineup. It's just frustrating all the way around. Hey, Colin. Oh, yeah. I haven't heard anything about Ekblad one way or another, but boy, was he hurting. It was almost to the point where you would think you'd get a whistle. But with possession in the offensive zone like that, you really, unless it was like a head hit, if it was like something where a guy got hit in the head, I think maybe would have got a whistle there. But for a dude that just couldn't get up, tough shit, it's hockey. You know what I mean? Can you imagine? Great White says, I'm starting to think Maurice is the problem now. Not necessarily. I don't feel like he's responded to the injuries. I don't think he's had his best coaching job in responding to the injuries. You know what I mean? And what did he always, I mean, he told on himself the last 3 years. He said, the team coaches himself. I hardly have to do anything. He told on himself. The team is a well-oiled machine that takes care of themselves. I hardly have to do anything. This is the year we needed for him to really press the right buttons. And it's just not happening. But not like I would ever want to get rid of him or anything like that. It's just he's really being tested this year. What do we got here? Hold on a second. Lil J says, I agree about Maurice from pulling the goalie too early to putting Boquist in the power play instead of Greer. Right. Hey, communist. Bill says you found the channel when the Panthers won the President's Trophy. Yeah. Yeah, that's when we started to do really well. Communist says, hey, Jaws and company, so that was a frustrating game to let go. Even if on the bright side, Bennett got 2 assists for Hagee, scored again. At least for Hagee and Bennett are looking right again. What do we got here? Oh, here we go. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Miss Jaws. I'll thank you later. She says, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Go Dolphins. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I thought I read. But my glasses, I might have something on my glasses. Lil J says they interviewed Swaggy after the game. He was pretty much like, oh, well, we'll win Friday. He should be pissed about that point. Yeah, that's disappointing. Colin says, I hope Tarasov plays tomorrow and Monday. Ooh, well, we got, sorry, I had a little bit of a little pain in my head there. I'm okay. So we got the Flames. Yeah, please. Got the Flames, Leafs, Preds. I know Maurice isn't going to want to sit Tarasov or sit Bob for 3 games. But man, if we were getting the goaltending that Tarasov has been giving us on some of these nights, if you play Tarasov against the Flames tomorrow, I'm all about that. I can't imagine he's going to throw Tarasov out there against the Leafs. But then maybe give him the Preds and he's not going to give him the Jackets. Or maybe he will. Because we usually say that Bob plays against the Jackets because he played for the Jackets, but so did Tarasov. Hey, Seth. Happy Thanksgiving. Great White, yeah, never giving Tarasov the back-to-back games. And that was my point last night. If that was Spencer Knight, I don't think it'd be a question. He would give Knight a couple of games in a row. Of course, that was before Bob won 2 cups. And while I don't necessarily agree, I might understand, since Bobrovsky, we got the 2 cups, it may be a situation where, remember, the first couple of years Bobrovsky was here, Spencer Knight would play some games. And there was, when I used to do the reviews with Stu, there was at least 2 times where we opened up the show where we thought, that's it. The page has been turned. Spencer Knight's the starter. Bob is on the downslide. And the fan base agreed with us. It was like, yeah, it's over. The change has happened. And then they would give Bobrovsky back his job, and he'd look good again. So I don't think Tarasov is fixing to take his job. But just to give us a lot of a boost of energy, just Bob's played a lot of games. And I still feel like he'll pick himself up for the playoffs, but it's a long season. And you got a good young goaltender in Tarasov. There's no reason to throw Bob out there 55 times when he's struggling. Yeah, Tarasov was on a roll, yeah. Mike says, I think Bob taking bribes like the NBA and MLB. Only thing you're missing is evidence. Greg says, and to be fair, Mackey not stepping up is glaringly evident. Maybe we're too high on him. Mackey's a young player that needs consistent line mates. When Tkachuk is back and it's Bennett, Tkachuk, Samoskevich, that he's a young guy. The same thing used to happen to Trocheck. Trocheck the first couple of years, year and a half, 2 years, all over the lineup. We'd move them here, we'd move them there, we'd move them here, because that's a lot of times how young players get treated. And so what's he doing now? He's with Marchand and Lundell, right? So, these kids, they get moved around, and it's fine. It's good learning experience for him and all of that. But he's going to need some kind of consistent line mates and a consistent situation to know what his job is, what his role is. Because for a minute there, he was playing. I mean, they had him with, I think they had him with Bennett and Verhaeghe. You know what I mean? He's played with everybody, and he's got, now he's in Luosterainen's spot, which is kind of supposed to be like a defensive type of position. So I understand what you're saying, but I feel like he'll be okay. Sherry says, I know the team has many injuries, but maybe playing so deep into the playoffs the last 3 or 4 years, everyone's worn out. I think mentally we're struggling a little bit to stay engaged in games. We saw this a little bit last year, but we were healthy. The St. Louis Blues game is a good example. One where just Barkov said, I'm just going to do this myself. We're just missing so many key guys in key positions. Don't overlook the fourth line. I mean, Nosek, Gadjevich, and Greer are a force out there. They eat a lot of minutes. They're responsible. We get goals out of those guys. I mean, we don't even have anything remotely close to what we want out there as our fourth line. There's nothing wrong with Gregor, but he's not Gadjevich or Greer. Cunnin has been okay. But these are replacement level players that are out there right now on a lot of, you know what I mean? And you're missing Kulikov. So instead of Kulikov leading the bottom pair and kind of hiding Petrie a little bit, now you've got Petrie leading things, and you're trying to hide Belinskas. And you can't hide that kid because he's always skating all over the place like his head's on a freaking swivel. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, which, by the way, what the hell happened to Nico Mikkola? Now, defensively, he's fine, but does he even have any points? I know that he's not like Cale Makar offensively, but I know the second half of last season, especially remember when Ekblad got out, when Ekblad was out, Mikkola really stepped up and was trying to, at least have some points. So he's got 4 assists. He's got no goals. Last year he had 6 goals, right? So 1 every 10 or 12 games. His time on ice is pretty much the same, but I'd like to see him, pinch a little bit here or there. He was getting some points last year. Let me see. I think it was the second half of the season. October, November. Yeah, he started off last year. He didn't have any points. Jeez. So last year, Mikkola didn't have any points until November 6th. He had a couple of assists. Why is this? Why are they only showing me this far? This is weird. Looking at Mikkola's games from here we go. Hold on. No, I'm looking at the wrong year. 24-25, dumbass. Yeah, so he had a goal on April 1st. He had a goal on March 13th. He was getting points on a little bit more of a consistent basis, but he was yeah. I mean, like Mikkola had assists. He had a nice assist streak. October 24th, 26th, November 1st, November 2nd, November 7th, November 9th. He had assists in all of those games. So it's just little things like that where it's just nothing is going according to plan. David says, but it really was really kind of, but really T kind of is happening. We dominated first two periods last night, but then again, the puck just didn't go in. We missed at least 5 empty open nets. We did well. The one that was Rodriguez, he got slashed. That should have been a call, but I'm not big on complaining like that. But it should have been a call. David, stupid word. Yeah, it's very interesting. Little J says we won't be keeping Maurice forever. He'll go down a legend. You'll forever go down a legend with us, but look what happened to Sullivan after the Penguins repeated. I mean, I wouldn't, I understand what you're saying. I mean, sure, eventually, right? Eventually you're not, you're going to have a change of guys. Colin says, also, I invited some of my friends to watch some hockey yesterday since I had 6 free tickets to use. Thankfully, it was a more competitive game, even though when I got done, I had to explain hockey to them, but it was at least fun. Hey, Adonis. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. Lil J says Mackey just needs to get the puck off his stick quicker. He can be indecisive at times. I would almost be. I agree with you. My guess would be that Mackey is playing a little bit scared to get moved down in the lineup and lose ice time. That would be my guess. I mean, he gets moved all over the place. And not having a chemistry with the guys as much as he would like to. Every night he's got a different role. And he's still a young player. He's in many ways improved since last year. But remember, he played a lot of those points he got last year was with Bennett on the second line, and then with like Tkachuk, and then after Tkachuk got injured, who did we move down there? Was it for Hagee? I forget. But he played with Bennett a lot, and you would see Bennett in the post-game show going, I enjoy playing with him. We've got some chemistry, et cetera, et cetera. So, but now you got Greer there. Now, I would have no problem with moving Greer up and going Bennett with Verhaeghe and Samoskevich and see if that can work a little bit. But with Greer, that line is working as well. Hey, Sherry, right back at you. If you celebrate, if not, have some food anyway. Oh, very nice, Adonis. Very cool. How did Mackey's sister? I don't know. I didn't see that one, Miami. Mixed scientist says, I noticed that every time the Flyers have possession, all 5 of our players would collapse in front of Bob and leave both of their D-men wide open on the blue line, leaving Bob's screen. I wonder if that's by design. Interesting. I didn't notice that, but now when you think about it, at least 2, if not 3 of the goals were deflections from outside. I mean, he was screened for sure. Now, if that's not by design, scientists, sometimes the reason they're going to do that is that they're they've been on the ice too long and they're exhausted because generally speaking, as they get tired, instead of attacking the defenseman with the puck at the blue line, they will collapse and just try to minimize the damage in front and let those guys shoot. Because there were some shifts. We just couldn't clear the puck, especially in the third period. We were just losing the board battles. Like, that's the most frustrating thing. Like, as Panther fans, we're accustomed to the puck goes along the boards and Panthers have it. Like, we have been trained when it's a board battle, we're going to win it 80% of the time. Like, when we lose a board battle, it's like, oh, that's strange. But this year, it's just not been the case, and we can't clear the zone. It's so frustrating. Colin says, well, I think we should hear some news from E2 next week. I would hope so, because they said week to week. What's it been? A week? 2 weeks now, at least? When did he get hurt? When was his injury? November 19th. So that's 8 days ago. Panthers forward E2 Luosterainen is out indefinitely after what Coach Paul Maurice described as a barbecuing mishap. I mean, and then there's the other part to it where sometimes it's just not your year. Sometimes it's just not your year, man. You know what I mean? I mean, look at the game-winning goal last night. We're complaining and bitching, and all of our complaints are valid. But Ekblad blocks the shot. He's on his face. He can't get up. He tries to get up. It's too painful. Forsling is approaching the guy, the puck carrier. He doesn't have a stick. Like, it's just, sometimes it just ain't happening for you. You seen the Verhaeghe pass to Marchand. He had a wide open net. He hits it with the shaft of his stick. How many times has Marchand missed this year? He's leading the team in goals. Sometimes everything collapses on you and contributes, you know. Craig says, plus not playing winning hockey cuts the amount of ice time the fourth line gets. Exactly. Yeah. Lil J, Barkov, Kachuk, Nosek, Kulikov, Schwint, Gadjevich, and E2 are all injuries. Why do I feel like there's still... Oh, Nosek. I was going to say... Oh, no, Nosek is on there. Okay. Barkov, Kachuk, Nosek, Kulikov, Gadjevich. I mean, that's Barkov, Kachuk, Nosek, Kulikov, Gadjevich, E2. That's 6 starters, right? And that's a third of the team. Good Lord. I still feel like there's one that we're missing. There's been so many. I still feel like, because I know you said Schwint, but why do I feel like there's still one more guy that like kind of showed up and then like immediately went away? I could be wrong. Lil J says Schwint or Nosek for the playoffs. It'll be Nosek. It's a shame. Schwint would have got a lot of good experience this year to be able to step in and help during the playoffs. But if Nosek is healthy and ready to go, it's going to be Nosek. Especially if he's really ready to go, he's going to be fresh and he's going to be good to go. Be a real infusion of energy when that happens. I think Schwint has the possibility of being the 4C of the future and would have really made good playoff depth now. But missing all these months, that's going to hurt him because he's a young player. So it's going to be tough to have him as playoff depth, although we did do it with Yanasenko a few years ago, but we see how that worked out. I haven't heard about Ekblad, no. Donna says Bob will be fine coming off a deep playoff run and always slumps this time of year. Yeah, no, I agree with you. So I completely agree to come playoff time, Bobrovsky's going to be just fine. But right now, with Tarasov playing so well and us needing points, like this isn't like Verhaeghe out there where you just kept throwing him out there until he got right. Like we should be playing Tarasov some just to get some points in the bank. Not that it's all Bob's fault, you know. Donis, yeah, no, I know. Every year in November, he struggles, man. Colin says, also, I saw someone with the Panthers Winter Classic jersey, and I can't confirm it looks better in person. Yeah, I've heard that from a few people, yeah. Silva says, trade news. I don't got anything. Sorry, I forgot to make up something. Your dog for Brady? What kind of dog? What kind of dog? We'll trade somebody. Who are we trading today? I can't think anybody I want to trade right now. Can't trade the injured guys. There's no one player whose fault it was yesterday. It just was frustrating. Hey, Simon, how you doing, buddy? So we're going to be, Donna and I are going to be streaming the Chiefs-Cowboys game today. And then tomorrow, hockey starts at 12 tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to immediately jump on at 12 because we have a 4 o'clock Panther game. But I will be on significantly early. Kyle and Matthias is supposed to be back here around 2 tomorrow. So I would suspect that somewhere, as long as this tooth doesn't continue to flare up, I would suspect somewhere between noon and 2 tomorrow, I'll go live and we'll putz around watching some of the other hockey games and whatnot. And then the Panthers play at 4. So there won't be a members exclusive stream tomorrow before the game because I'm already going to be live, and I don't want to make Kyle walk in the door and be like, okay, kid, get on. There you go. And at some point, I got to cook that turkey, I guess. We put it in the fridge? Yeah, we put it in the fridge. So, yeah. McDavid says not only 6 starters, but 3 Hall of Famers in there as well. It's a good point. It really is. Yeah. I mean, it's a third of a friggin' team, you know, and it's a good third of a team. I mean, Barkov, Kachuk, Luosterainen is pretty much a viable top line. I know that Luosterainen probably isn't your prototypical top line winger, but if your top line was Barkov, Kachuk, or Luosterainen, you're probably happy with that for the most part. It is gone. Poof. Lil J says, so the team for the playoffs is the exact same if Barkov and Nosek get healthy. And you assume Boquist and Mackey would be the odd man out again? No. The problem is that we don't have the cap space. Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Kachuk, Rodriguez, Lundell, Luosterainen, Marchand, Nosek, Gadjevich, and Greer, and our 6 defensemen, we don't have the cap space to have them all out there at the same time. So if Barkov comes back, Boquist and Rodriguez, if they're still on the team, they're the ones that have to be off the ice, and Samoskevich has to play because we don't have the cap space to have the same guys on the ice as last year because we added the Jones contract and the LTIR loophole has been closed. So the best case scenario is Barkov coming back for the first game of the playoffs, because if he comes back before, we would have to trade guys to get cap compliant. Because the way the playoff cap works is the roster can be over the cap, but the game lineup that you submit has to be cap compliant. So we can have Rodriguez and Boquist on the roster, but we can't have them all on the ice in a playoff game unless somebody making a good amount of money, like if Verhaeghe was out or Ekblad was out. If somebody's out, then we would have room for them. It's as if the rest of the season wasn't already a mess and a disaster, Lil J. It's a even bigger mess and a bigger disaster. I think I picked the Chiefs, Great White. I picked the Chiefs. It's Thanksgiving. You know they're going to glaze Mahomes. I picked the Chiefs. Yeah, exactly, David. Exactly. Oh, a 14-year-old golden doodle. That's so nice. Trade Schwinton, Kachuk for Hubie and Wego. Wait a minute. That sounds familiar. Yeah, the Kachuk guy has been invisible for months. Same with Barkov. Exactly. David says, tomorrow will be a busy day for me, but we'll have my cats on in the background. That's dangerous, as I might say something about the game while on the phone. Stuff like effing moron, shoot the puck. Yeah, that sounds about right. Can we add players and remove them each round? No. Well, anybody that's on the roster can play. It just has to be the roster for each game has to be cap compliant. So if Samoskevich wasn't cutting it, there'd be nothing that you could really do cap-wise. Because even if you took Samoskevich off, if you put Rodriguez in his place, there wouldn't be enough cap space still to do it. It is what it is. I don't want to say we got screwed, but all the NHL teams did all their contracts and got everything ready based on the LTIR loophole was still in place. And then the NHL changed the rules 2-3 weeks before the season started. And it's just frustrating. Simon, you're looking forward to today because I'm having turkey. Outstanding. I appreciate that, Simon. You're a good dude. You're a good dude, man. Yeah, we're going to be live on the football channel. There's Miss Jaws with the link there. Yeah, we'll be live on the football channel. I don't know. We might. It depends on what the other game does. The first game, what's that? Detroit and Green Bay. I figured it wasn't worth streaming against Grossi. So we'll see what the score of that game is. But there's some time in between. So I suspect we'll just be live for Chiefs Cowboys. But yeah, run 5 forwards, no D. Silva. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to work it. And that's why when people bring trades and say, what about this guy? What about that guy? We don't have money for the players we have. The only reason why we were able to do what we've done so far is because Kachuk was out. If Kachuk wasn't hurt and we didn't know Kachuk was having surgery, if he had planned on starting the regular season, we would have had to have moved Rodriguez. There would have been no choice. So Kachuk's injury bought us some time. And then unfortunately, the Barkov injury kind of bought us the rest of the season. But come playoff time, it's incredibly frustrating. And that's what I've been saying about Rodriguez is the dude is filling in for Barkov. He's playing 1C. He's playing out of his mind. And come playoff time, we don't have the money if Barkov's bad to keep Rodriguez on the ice unless you're going to take somebody else off. Now, you could take Verhaeghe off and then run with Boak or run with Rodriguez. You could do that. Anybody making, we're $4.5 million over, but if you have Boquist on the side as a reserve, fine. Then you still need a $3 million player. Now, theoretically, you could sit Luosterainen. You could get into a position where you're deciding to sit Luosterainen instead of Rodriguez. I don't know. I know Rodriguez is going to give you a little bit more offense, but we're talking about the playoffs. It's dicey. It's dicey. And you're not really going to sit any of your top 4 defensemen. You know what I mean? So Real says, I know the solution for all this. Let's just miss the playoffs. No, I don't like that solution. I don't like that solution. Yeah, we're having today, Simon, we're having pizza. because Kyle's going to his mom's for Thanksgiving. She's got the kids this year. That's okay. That's all right. Like I said earlier in the stream, let her do all the work. I'm fine with it. I did it all last year. I had a good time doing it. It was just Kyle and I last year, so it was kind of depressing. You know what I mean? It's like no dogs. It was just him and I. It was peaceful, but sitting there by yourself. It's just like, okay. So his mom wanted to have him for Thanksgiving because my daughter's living with her now and she's got a job and like she doesn't have any off time. And so I was like, just go. It's okay. I'll just sit here and abuse Donna. I mean, I'll hang out with Donna all day and we'll be just fine. Real says you don't have to worry about being cap compliant for the playoffs if you aren't in them. That's not what's gonna happen. No, they have to make it. I don't think my sanity could take that. I can't, because Kyle and I still got to stream playoff games. We still got to stream games. So I don't think I want to start off in the first round getting trolled by whatever fan base. Now, the only thing I'll say is that it would be acceptable if the Panthers are going to miss the playoffs, the Leafs have to miss them as well. Because if don't give away our secrets, Mrs. Jaws, if the Panthers miss and then the Leafs get in and we have to stream a Leafs series and the Panthers are out, I don't think I deserve the abuse that I'm going to get. Because it will. I can't hide from it. I can't be like, oh, Panthers didn't make it, we're not streaming. No. So, like it could get ugly around. It can get ugly. So they have to make the playoffs, or at the worst, if they miss, the Leafs have to miss too. Because I don't want to have to hide. I'll have Kyle run the Leaf streams. I'm kidding, of course, but we'll be okay. We'll make it. We'll be all right. It's a bump in the road. It's frustrating. I know it's frustrating. Nobody more frustrating than me. Losing games the way we've got so many games this year where you're just either needing a goal. I think this is the first one we blew this way. This was a different thing where like the game was tied so late. It was a guarantee. It used to be like a guarantee. There was no questions asked. At least we were getting to overtime. Remember back in the day when we would play for overtime on purpose because we knew Verhaeghe was going to win the game, and it was just a matter of when, Verhaeghe or Reinhart? Like, how many overtime games do we even have this year? Is it just the one, or we've got the one overtime loss? Do we have any other overtimes? Let me see. Do we have an overtime win? Or was there a shootout win? Let's see. We beat the Stars in the shootout. So that's once. The Ducks beat us in the shootout. That's the 1-1. And that's it. We've had 2 overtime games. And we won, and none of them happened to be both ended in the shootout. David says, did I miss the answer? Are teams allowed to add and sit players between playoff rounds? So the way it works, David, is you've got your playoff roster. That doesn't have to be cap compliant. Each night you present the lineup to the NHL. These are the guys that are playing tonight. That lineup has to be cap compliant. Now, I don't know specifically about being able, you've got I think what do they call them? The Black Aces. You've got your guys that are traveling with the team that are on the playoff roster in case you get deep into your lineup. You can add and remove any of those guys at any point in time, whether or not they're going to be in the game or not, whether or not they're going to be playing or not. So you could have $200 million worth of players on your roster, but the team that plays in the game has to be cap compliant. So I think that's how Denisenko got in a couple of years ago. I believe he was a Black Ace. Lusterino was out. Kachuk was out. So, unfortunately, so in terms of can we add, I don't think we can add guys. Like, I don't think after round one we can reconfigure and be like, hey, we're going to pull these other guys to make them on the playoff roster. That I don't think we can do, if that's what you're asking. But what they generally will do is they'll just have this long playoff roster, and a lot of them are called the Black Aces. And then if you get injured or whatnot, but in the past, the way it's been is that it didn't matter the cap situation because there was no cap in the playoffs. So they dinged us, the worst possible scenario. And then the ironic part to it is that just to show that the whole world revolves around this team, they put us in the worst possible scenario, which was going into the season knowing we were going to have to shed cap when Kachuk came back. And then the worst possible solution to that problem presented with Barkov being out the whole year. It's just really been one kick in the nuts after another since after they stopped having it's like they all had their day with the cup, and then Karma said, okay, we're done with these guys. We're going to give them a taste of reality again. It's been wild, Yeah, Simon, it's all good. I appreciate that. As you guys who have older kids, eventually it's not always the same. The holidays, they change. It's okay. I don't have to do all that work. I'm going to be cooking a turkey tomorrow. But sometimes like who said it up above about the pizza? Yeah, Great White says pizza for Thanksgiving. Yeah, exactly. Don't leave out the cinnamon rolls though. There was I don't know. They're like little bread nuggets, whatever the hell they call them. I don't get Domino's. They tried to jib me. Get this story. This makes a lot of sense. So in the morning, Donna and I are talking about we're going to order the Domino's. So she looks online. She sees the deal: 2 pizzas and 2 orders of the breadsticks for $20. Okay. I go to the store. I'm like, hey, order the pizza because I'm going to be there to pick it up. So she goes online. She can't find the $20 deal anymore. So she ends up us ordering the 2 pizzas, which the 2 pizzas were $27. So I get there to pick it up. I'm like, hey, so online it said 2 pizzas and breadsticks for $20, but my wife couldn't find the deal, and they looked it up. They're like, it's right, it's there for us. I'm like, okay, so I want to have the breadsticks. So they voided the one deal, and I paid for the pizza. So it was going to be $27 for 2 pizzas, and it was $20 for the same 2 pizzas, but they added the breadsticks. It was $6 less because I added the breadsticks. I'm like, but they wouldn't refund her card the $6. They had to void the whole thing because they got to put it in as a whole special and all of that. It's a whole. I'm like, I just want, because the cinnamon are there for me. Like, Donna doesn't eat them. That's my dessert. Like, yeah, I want my breadsticks, man. Jaw says, Great White says, how many years left on Kachuk contract? I want to say 4. This is what? This is his 4th season, right? But wait a minute. We gave him an extension. He is in year 4 of 8. So he's got this year, he's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's still got this year and 4 more years. Yeah. So, I mean, he's only 27. So honestly, he's going to be one of the younger guys as his contract comes to a close. He's only going to be 35. Simon, I don't know if we're doing anything on the men's channel this weekend. I'm not sure right now. That's I judge it day by day because I can't forget. I got it. When is the Dolphin game on Sunday? Which I can't forget. There's so much other stuff going on like that. Yeah, Sunday at 1:00 we got to be live for the Dolphin. No wait. Yeah, Sunday at 1:00. Yeah, so Kyle and I will be live for the Dolphins on Sunday. Now Saturday there's no Panther game. So I suppose, to answer your question, Simon, I would suppose that hello.
I'm just seeing how you answer the question. I was making a sandwich.
Oh,
I'm not on the computer, so
okay.
about going on the men's show.
I suppose that if we are going to do it, it would probably be Saturday night because there's no Panther game on Saturday. So, but don't hold me to that. If we do it, it'll be Saturday night. But we'll just see what kind of energy. It depends on how long we stream. Because Black Friday, I'm streaming from probably about 2 until after the Panther game. So, but it could happen. I'm hopeful that as long as everything is good and energy is good, we'll do it. So that would be, and I'll make a community post about that on this channel. So if we do that, for those of you who don't know what he's asking about, Donna and I do what's called Inappropriate Conversations live streams over on the men's channel. We're not talking about hockey or football over there either. We talk about real world stuff. And you can come sober or not. It doesn't matter. Can't really tell the difference anyway because we're just blowing off steam. So it's all good. David says, time for Thanksgiving Red Bull, just like the Pilgrims drank. All right, everybody. I got to roll. Kyle's getting ready to leave the house here soon. I want to hang with him for a little bit. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Everybody who celebrates, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, Great White, there's no turkey legs. It's just a turkey breast. I was supposed to get a free turkey. They ran out of turkeys. They didn't even have turkeys to sell. So they gave me a big turkey breast for free. So no turkey leg, which it would have been mine, though. The answer to the question would have been, she doesn't like dark meat. So we're the perfect couple because we can make up a bird and she wants is the breast and all I want is the legs and thighs. So it kind of works perfectly. So much appreciation. Thank you all for all the super chats. Genuinely appreciate y'all. Donna and I will be live 4 hours. 4 hours we'll be over on the football channel doing Chiefs and Cowboys. It should be fun because she kind of is a Cowboys fan-ish, and I hate the Chiefs, but you guys know I can't root for the same team as my co-host. So I'm stuck. I want a tie. I want both fan bases to be disappointed. So I'm literally rooting for a tie. So I feel like I'm going to be the one disappointed. Yeah. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. And I'll see you again in about 4 hours.